All right, we're answering some questions. Let's go. How long does the home buying process actually take in Austin, Texas? Once you identify a property, you can close in as quickly as 30 days. And if you have a fantastic lender and an agent that's really on top of things, you can close even faster. But it really depends on what your goals are. Let's say you're waiting for your lease to end or expire and you need a little bit more time. Pushing closing dates out 60 days isn't the worst thing in the world. So we got to figure out what your goals are, when you need to actually move in and take occupancy, and then we can work off of that. Having a longer closing isn't the end of the world, or expediting the closing date is also very doable. But we got to figure out what your goals are. Is now a good time to buy in Austin? Interest rates are high. It's more expensive to borrow money, but that means that there's less buyers in the market. And we're able to negotiate significant savings on the homes. And oftentimes what that looks like is seller concessions. We take some of the money from the purchase price and we use it to pay down the interest on your loan, lowering your monthly payments, making it a little bit more palatable while you wait for rates to come back down, and then you can refinance. If you're concerned about your credit score, let me tell you this, it doesn't need to be a perfect 800 credit score. FHA loans can be qualified on credit scores in the low 600s, even the high 500s. It really depends on what's on your background and your employment history and annual and monthly income. So if you're concerned about qualifying for a mortgage, don't stress yourself out. We have fantastic lenders that will be able to guide you through the process and make sure that you're using the right loan product for your type of purchase. How much do you actually need to save up to buy a home? Here's the good news. It's much lower than you think. FHA loans can be a 3.5% down payment. FHA means first time home buyer. It's a federally backed loan program, and the down payment can be very low. And we can even use seller concessions to finance closing costs. So if you want to make a purchase and you're waiting to have this big 20% down payment, it might not be the best use of your money. So how do you decide on a neighborhood in Austin? I like to think about it in what do you love about Austin? For me, I love coffee shops. I love Barton Springs. I love being able to walk my dog outside, and I love to be able to go play a quick 9 holes of golf. So that gives me a lot of options to choose from when I'm searching for a neighborhood to purchase in. I don't need it to be right next to a golf course. I'm okay with a 10-minute drive. I don't need to be right next to Barton Springs. I don't have that kind of money. I'm okay with a 15-minute drive. So I also like lots of coffee shops, and I like to be able to eat and work and hang out outside. So South Austin for me makes a lot of sense. And it really depends on what the things that you're looking for in a neighborhood that would work best for you. And we can curate the search to make sure we're getting as much on the checklist as humanly possible. If you're a first-time home buyer, or you have a budget that might not qualify for a full single-family residence, you should really be considering condos. Not only are they going to be much more affordable price points, but you're also not going to have to worry about exterior maintenance. The HOA takes care of everything like that. But when buying a condo, you can have a lot of really big common pitfalls. You want to make sure that the HOA has really good management, it's financially secure, and they haven't passed any large assessments recently. You don't want to be moving into a condo complex and then all of a sudden have a $500 a month assessment to pay for the new roof for everybody. You want that taken care of previously, or you want the association to have enough prudent reserves to cover unexpected costs like that. How do you avoid a big major lemon of a house? And it all comes down to the home inspection. You want to make sure that your inspector is crawling into every nook and cranny. They're testing every outlet. They are looking at every single little aspect of the home to make sure that you're buying something that you're completely comfortable with. You don't want to move into a house and find out that it's an electrical fire waiting to happen, or the roof only has another 6 months left in it, or when it rains, the kitchen floods. All those things can be avoided with a thorough home inspection, and that's completed during the option period. And during the option period, you can terminate the contract for any reason. You want a longer option period to make sure that you can do all your due diligence, and you want it to not be terribly expensive because you do have to pay for an option period. How do you know if the home you're buying is priced appropriately? It's a great question, and it all comes down to comps. What are similar homes selling for in the neighborhood? Are they trending upwards? How is the neighborhood being developed? Are restaurants, coffee shops, and grocery stores moving in, or is it becoming a little bit more of a ghost town? And also, what are your goals for the purchase? Live in it for 30 years? Okay, then let's go look at something that needs a little bit of a neighborhood development, a little bit of an uplift. And that way you can ride the wave upwards and enjoy it for longer. What is an HOA, and should I even be considering it? Probably, yeah. I mean, HOAs are great to make sure that the community is held to a certain standard. Your neighbors are protected from your raucous parties and your late night hangs with crazy loud music. All those things that protect your neighbors from you also protect you from your neighbors. They can't just do whatever they want and trash the place. They got to uphold property values. They got to keep the community to a certain standard, and it really does help protect your investment. And they're a great way to get into a more homogeneous community with amenities. So neighborhood pool, pickleball courts, tennis courts, basketball courts, all those really nice things are upheld by the HOA, not individual sellers or buyers or owners.